friends, welcome back to the Luxury Lounge. Who's been here for programming before? Anybody had a nice lounge and rest? I know, it's such a nice place to come hang and be and take a second. It's the perfect time of day to get off your feet for a minute. But if you need to get up and stretch and move that body, you know it's all about wellness. If you've heard any buzzwords this week, it's going to be wellness. So take care of yourselves and enjoy. I'm Sophie Donaldson. I'm a journalist and author and longtime KBIS lover and friend, and excited to be here back. I hosted some Luxury Lounge last year and was on Next Stage as well, and done about a bit of that this week too. And now I'm here with a new group of friends, which is really exciting. I don't think I've ever been on a panel with any of you. This is exciting. Yeah. First time. Let's introduce ourselves and come up with like maybe a fun question. Okay, I have one. Jarrell, we're going to start with you. I want to know, I know, I'm sorry, your name, where your firm is based, and tell me one like kitchen or bath appliance or accessory or like deal breaker for you. Like what are you picky about? It could be anything. Hit it.
All right. So my name is Jarrell Lake. I own Lake House Designs based out of Atlanta, Georgia. We're a full-service kitchen and bath design company. I'd say an integrated 48-inch refrigerator is probably my pet peeve.
Wow.
It just doesn't build in quite as clean. So having columns and full built-in appliances is what I enjoy the most.
And is that for you true, like personally, or is that a client thing?
It will be personally. Yeah.
I like that.
Hi everyone, Caroline Danielson. I'm the Senior Director of Showrooms for Ferguson Home. We are in all 250 states, actually except Connecticut. But I am based out of Williamsburg, Virginia, and we're really excited to be here. And I would say a pet peeve of mine, I have a very lot of legacy years in lighting, so really good lighting, layers of lighting, task, ambient, all of that is very important to me.
Love it.
Hi, I'm Carolina Gentry with Pulp Design Studios, and I am Beth Dotolo's other half, but I'm in the Dallas office. And I would say for me, are you saying pet peeve personally or just in general?
Jarrell said pet peeve.
I have a lot of
I'm
pet
sort of
peeves.
saying like your deal breaker, your must have, either your love or your like, deal breaker product or idea.
I think lighting is everything. And I know this doesn't have to deal with like necessarily kitchen and bath, but just going back to the wellness, like your primary bedroom and your environment in that space, so the bath and all that is very important for how you do every single day and how you feel. So that should be really important.
Hi, I'm Beth Dotolo. I'm Carolina's other half with Pulp Design Studios. I'm in our Seattle office. We work nationally on high-end residential. But I would say my pet peeve, or not my pet peeve, something I'm picky about is countertops. I feel like in a kitchen, that's the one thing you interact with every day. And so I feel like it needs to be something really special and something that's, functional, durable, or something that it can patina over time that's just special,
So what's your countertop?
I'm on the hunt still. I'm still on the hunt. But,
on the hunt.
But what I would tell you is that it would likely be a Cosentino Senza product, which is
putting
natural
that out there
stone,
to the world.
And it's pre-treated. So that's probably what I would do.
Nice plug.
Yeah, I mean, go check one out at
their
Fabiowood booth that we designed.
Is this time for plugs too? Okay, thanks.
Good. Okay, so today we're talking about the digital footprint and we say like mastering it in the luxury space. And this specifically is related, the landscape is really more about these customers, these clients that are coming to us, and what do they know, and how are they interacting with that space, and how is that affecting business from a number of different standpoints. Jarrell, you have a really cool position, Caroline different from our pulp designers over here, really different perspectives. So from Ferguson's side, you can talk about these high-end clients, and you also work with the A&D community. Jarrell, you do specifically kitchen design, so you're working with both designers and architects, but also homeowners. Is that right? Yeah, great. And then just, regular, run-of-the-mill fancy designers
Just a designer.
over here. So this is really interesting to me because I think that these clients and homeowners are coming from different points of the funnel, and they're getting to us with sort of different information, and things have changed. I feel like the panels that we used to do was like, my client comes with like a Pinterest board and they want these things, but they don't really know what they want, and they give me all these random pictures, and it was like, oh, that's such a cute problem to have now, because now they watch like a TikTok on like a passive plumbing and are like, can we make a garden on the roof? And also I saw that this guy did it, and why not us? It's like they have so much more information. It's all wrapped up really pretty. They come with like all sorts of stuff, and the role that you all have is different than it used to be. So anyway, that's one of the things that, yes, I've been thinking about. So starting at the top, tell me in what way it's changed for you personally, like just like right off the top of it, how is the client conversation specifically different for you today? I think, Michelle, Caroline, I'm going to let you start with that because you had a great, anecdote in our kickoff call.
Well, I hope I remember it. If not, cue me in on that.
I will.
But really, the clients are coming in very, very well knowledge. They have a lot of information. They're working with incredible designers and teams, and they have an entourage, right? And so it's a little bit of a different experience today with clients. And, for them and for us, it's about really working on the project, not being product specific, but making sure that the overall project is really what they're dreaming of and they're creating and they're thinking of, but while really keeping them grounded in the art of what's actually possible to do within their space.
Do they come in talking about what they've seen, for example?
Oh my gosh, yes, they absolutely do. They come in, they see these incredible spaces, and you're really thinking about, is this AI rendering? Are you looking at actual real space? Is this a sound stage they're building on? And so for us, it's a lot about picking through to make sure we're able to actually deliver products and work with our customers to make sure that it's feasible and possible.
That's really cool. Pulp Girls, you mentioned that you are able to sort of categorize your potential clients or maybe cold calls or DMs that come in based on sort of these different groups of people. Can you tell me about how you organize that for yourselves?
Well, we have the shoppers, the clients that come in. They're the Instagram,
The Pinterest board.
junkies.
Yeah,
They're the shoppers. We also have sort of the very wealthy athletes, professional athletes that just have a social media following, so
I
they're
want
on
that
there.
in my DMs. Raise your hand if you want like the professional athlete DMing
we have a
you.
Super Bowl winner as a client.
Oh!
So, just
I'd get excited if I wasn't a
this
Patriots
year.
fan.
I know. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's okay.
Seattle Seahawks. Go Hawks. I don't even care that much about football, but whatever. And then there is for us. There's this sort of mid-level. There's still wealthy, well-to-do, or rich, but they come to us because we have put out messaging that specifically targets the type of clients we want. And so while they're getting educated by all these TikTok videos and Instagram Reels,
They're watching our
we're
videos.
also putting our videos out there, and we are telling them these are the types of clients we want. This is how we'll work together. This is the reality of the business. And so those are the ones who come in, and then when we have our first interview, they're quoting us to us. They're like, I want the final 15, like give me all the accessories because it's not finished, like you said. And we're like, great, so there's that sort of like mid-range of clients who I wouldn't call them like fangirls, fanboys, but they're just being educated by us and wanting to work with us.
Well, that's really interesting because it's like, who are you messaging for, right? I mean, that has to be a question for everybody up here.
Well, ultimately for
please.
our ideal client, and that's what's worked for us with our videos is they see our personality before they even meet us, so they know they want to move forward with us.
And it's been a really strategic exercise in figuring out who is our ideal client, what space do they work in, what is their budget, but then also like who do we want to be working with? Because I don't want to be working with snobbies. I want people to like laugh at our jokes and like think we're funny. And if you don't think our videos are funny, then bye. So
which I'm sure is different for you guys. Like you have a different situation than we do. So.
Jarrell, who do you find yourself creating content for? Like when you are posting things, how do you treat that as a platform for yourself and your business?
Well, it's a careful balance. I think there's a lot of kitchen and bath designers here tonight. It's really crafting it to message homeowners and trade individuals. Homeowners want to see aspirational, they want to see beauty, the finished product, and kind of cool features. And then the trades want to see more technical information. So really taking them through that process of how our project's created, framing, blocking in the walls, technical details, trying to speak towards that versus just the pretty pictures is kind of how I attack it.
And what is that doing for you? Is that building trust with your future partners, or why is that the content that you choose for them?
I think it's showing authority in the industry. I think a lot of my focus has been just trying to build a name within the space first and become specialized in this specific niche, and then just demonstrating that through how I take the trades through the process of it.
Yeah, I work with a handful of designers and kind of thinking about what they're showing online from a strategy perspective. And, education is something that we talk about sometimes. And for some designers, I'm like, you're fancy, you're past that. People are coming to you for a look. You've got it. Maybe you've got a book already. Like, you're kind of can just be you and be a little fabulous, and that's what you're doing. And for others, I find the education part of it, or the behind the curtain, does a really good job at showing their value. Like, this is what I'm bringing to you. Like, here's how I'm thinking about this process, or here's what you're paying for, right? You're not just paying, you're paying for this finished product, but also here's all the thinking that goes into it. I watched something recently and it was like, hi, here are the 40 renderings we did to figure out the weird beams in this living room. And my team, and probably their AI assistants, went through a lot of different scenarios, so that you don't have to. And you should know that we're covering all the bases. And I think that there's that assurance and security that this is what happens, in between client meetings. I think there's something really interesting to that.
I would say that that's the difference between, showing your value and what you bring to a project and telling people how to do things DIY style. And I think if anyone's trying to make a footprint in the digital space and they want to pull the curtain back, I think that's the way to do it, is you have to show your value without telling them how to do it. Because you don't want to tell them how to do your job. You just want them to hire you.
They will literally never get it.
Literally won't.
They won't be able to do it. And when they try, anyway, we know what happens.
Yeah.
They end up picking up the phone anyway. Jarrell, you mentioned, I think, cool features, or just kind of the whiz-bang things that we show online. There are definitely very specific trends. I'm sure we can all name some of them that come to us from online. They come from the online universe. Can we talk about what some of those are? And are any of them good and fun? And did you ever learn anything on a TikTok and went, I kind of want that, or that makes sense, or let's do it? Tell me all about it.
Yeah, I think if you look to Europe and what's going on overseas, it's, how can we make as much of the kitchen disappear? So if you're seeing in TikToks or videos or things like that, that's speaking towards just concealing appliances, concealing the kitchen, not seeing a sink, those type of things will force you to, kind of study how that's done. So that's the beauty of social media too, is, I can easily slide into a designer's DM and just ask, well, who are you using to create some of these details? And fortunately, they'll respond. They'll reach out and actually share that knowledge with you of who to use, how to do it, and get shop drawings so that you can execute it. So
I would say too, the same things that are hard for us also work in our favor, because we're able to post things that we want to do more of. We really enjoy, being a little theatrical, having a trick of the eye, a hidden door, a hidden functional element. And because we were posting these things regularly,
people ask for it.
And now, we have a book coming out this year.
Congratulations.
And there's a chapter called Hidden Surprises, because people see it. I know. Because people see it on Instagram and then they want more of it, then you get to do more of it, and then, it's a cycle. You use your weapons,
Yeah.
So I think there's a beautiful hidden message, but we do have some clients and customers that come in and they want some of those appliances to be the focal point, the centerpiece of the space. I mean, I was sharing on our prep call, we had a customer come in and order a very expensive range and some side cabinets that cost $1 million. And, I don't even know if they hooked that up. And it was really to be at the forefront of this very large house in Florida. But it was meant to be loud and proud. And so it's a very interesting concept to think about. They're thinking about it from a social media perspective. How do I get the bang for my buck? How do I have this wow moment? And we were certainly very happy to help out with that one.
Was it actually like $1 million?
It had like diamond encrusted knobs on it. It was incredible. I think it was delivered in like a Brinks truck.
That's incredible. Has anybody else done diamond encrusted? Yeah. Not yet. The answer, not yet.
Ferguson Home would be very happy to sell it to you.
Do you have like a partner for that?
Yes, we do. We have some high-end range companies and all of that can certainly help out with that.
I want like the uncut gems, but for luxury kitchens. Can somebody make that film?
I know. I would love for them to have like on consignment, right? That should be a thing for these
or
ranges.
like we all know that you can get cosmetic dentistry. Like that's become very mainstream. I mean, pretty mainstream. Interesting. Okay, growth opportunities, people. This is what we're here for,
I bet.
Get the wheels turning. I'd like to take a little show of hands about a couple trendy things, and maybe I would love you to also tell me what I'm missing. And we're gonna do a show of hands of like, is it worth it or not? And worth it can be like, sure, if the budget's there and it's fun and I like it, it's cool, yes. And like, your no is just like, no, just like a no. Spice cabinets that are like hidden behind the range or like touch on the side or like integrated into stone. Yay or nay? Let's see a yay. What? Well, they are three different things. So you're up for one of them. Okay, tell me what you're up for.
The wall mount. I like the wall mount pull-out spice cabinets near the range.
Wall mounted. Okay.
The ones up above, like the Reva shelf or whatever, that come out and all the spices are up there. Okay. That's good. But behind the range is like...
No, I agree.
What is that?
It's a health
We had
hazard.
somebody that
All right,
wanted
so
one
I
of
shall
those.
ask the question. If it's behind the range or hidden in a way where you need to tap or it's like concealed, or I've seen them pop up, who's into that? Who thinks that's kind of fun and you would do it? And like, a couple. How about
I
you
feel
guys?
like as long as it doesn't interfere with the aesthetic of, there's always like seams
With
and,
reaching over a flame?
and
Or,
reaching over
yeah,
a flame.
that's what
But
I'm
you
saying.
can't do a
How
pot
are you going to
filler,
get your
you
garlic
know?
powder if you're cooking? It's not.
Yeah. You might even say they might not cook.
They don't because
Might be a bit of a tell.
Spices go bad if they are overheated, so they probably don't cook if they want that feature.
Correct.
Yes.
That's right. Okay.
That's why it's a big no for me.
Whimsical pet food stations.
Oh, yes.
So this is pet food integrated into like a thing. First of all, I've seen them in drawers that you have to like pop out. Do animals graze? I was aware that they graze. My cats are grazers.
Mine does. My
They take
dog Frankenstein does. He doesn't eat like at a normal time. He just eats all day.
Right. So I don't know if they whimper by the kick plate that you. Also like a faucet, a dedicated tap. Let me separate the questions. Whimsical pet food station that has some sort of like elegant built-in or needs to be sort of ejected from the wall. Has anybody done this? You like it? She's into it. It's okay. No, it's good. Okay. And then what about a tap? An actual I'm going to take some credit for creating this horrible trend. Maybe it's good for you. Maybe you love it. But House Beautiful, I was
tap?
all over that shit.
Like a
I was
pot
like,
filler,
I
like a pot
owned
filler.
that.
I would love
called
it
it
that
and breakfast nooks and like aubergine cabinetry right here.
We called
I'm
it-
sorry, you're welcome.
We called it barkitecture. Like it's a moment, right?
Architecture. Oh my God.
Architecture.
Yeah, we were actually having this
That's so
conversation
cute.
earlier today because we saw
Okay,
Pet
who loves some
Filler
architecture? Like a little. I know pets will get
But then this is what we were saying is that like my dog's neurotic, so he can't eat on certain floors, so he won't go in the kitchen.
But that's
So
not
I'm like,
normal.
I know, but you never know you don't have the same dog for the.
Well, my
your
dog
kitchen's
likes to
gonna last
drag-
longer than your dog, unfortunately. Like, what's to say the next one's gonna do? I'm just sorry.
Oh my
Girl,
God. Yeah, I know. You're right.
sorry.
Not you, lady. Your dog is never dying. Okay, don't even worry about it. Don't sweat it. That baby's here forever. Has anybody ever done, or is it served to you? I know it's served to me. Like a rope swing into the living room, or a ball pit. You laugh, you know this is real. A ball pit, like room, or like any sort of freaky dungeon lair play space that's for children, that's for adults. You're a specialist at this. We want to talk to you after the show. Find me. Anybody else done it or like kind of want to do it? A playhouse? Yeah, you're fun. I like
we just
her.
Completed a house with 2 swings flanking the fireplace,
swings.
like
In the
swinging
living
day
room.
beds.
Okay, I've
They're
seen this a
fun.
little bit. Yeah, it's interesting. Do they? Are there children in the house?
Yes, there are, but there's a stop, so they just sort of wobble because we don't want them to go through the window. You know. Did you?
Nice. What am I missing?
Well, that's the wrong swing.
Oh,
I think
wait.
You're talking about a different type of.
Swings. Well, that's why I was sort of like, you know, I mean, I had a lot of thoughts.
We're talking about family swing.
Yeah, this is a family swing.
This is not an
Everyone
adult
swings together? Sorry, that came out wrong. Moving on. Righto. What trend did I miss? What's something that's like, I can't believe this is being served to me, or I can't believe my client is asking for this? Can anybody think of something that's like whiz bang and fun? Anything you've been asked to do that's like, or that you've shut down?
I think we've just had to shut down like stylistically very trendy things.
Okay,
nothing
give me
specific, but
one.
like like things that are like overly like mirrors, overly curvy, and like just a certain you know what I'm saying. I don't want to like call anybody out, but
I know we have some, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
just
I know we've
overly
had some weird
trendy,
ones.
like where it's just an explosion of trend in your face. Like we like to play and have fun with design, but we don't always like to be of the moment. We like to be of the person,
Yeah.
So that has to happen.
So that sort of leads into my next question, which is, in what ways has like AI renderings a little bit bent, maybe playfully and like creatively, what looks beautiful or interesting to us right now? Because I feel like leading up to AI, there was this whole sort of anthropomorphic, the curving sofa moment, the shearling teddy bear, chairs. Like there was this sort of like, it was funny. It was like it was coming alongside AI renderings, and it was this more like playful and I don't know, almost childlike humor or whimsy in the house. And now you see. You see all sorts of things. Recently, I was submitted a project by a firm that I'm friendly with, and they were wondering, what magazine might take this? Like, where should we submit this? What should we think about doing with this? And I looked at it, and the way the photography was done, which was very much in like this golden or amber honey light, which is a bit of a trend that I have a lot of feelings about, but for not this panel, but ask me later. And then the furniture itself, which had many, many round shapes, including like rounded moldings that were done, like really interesting stuff, but it felt directly related to what we've seen as possible rendered for us, right? Like the imagination's there and it creates a creative rendering, and then the client had sort of eaten too much of it, in my opinion, and wanted that IRL, It was a really interesting project, but I looked at it twice, I'm like, it came from a photographer, but I was like, I have to tell you, like, if I didn't know this was your work, I would ask. And I talked to the designer about it, and she said that her client was really playful. They wanted something with a lot of personality. They love hosting. Don't they all? Apparently. Never see it, but apparently it happens. And they wanted this really playful thing. It was very trend. Yeah. This is a project that I could definitely get placed right away because it felt of the moment. I was kind of like, I can't believe anybody will be living here in 4 years, but that didn't seem to be how their financial planning was going. I don't think they were really thinking about more than 3 years out. They were having a lot of fun for the moment. So anyway, big wind up to say, I'm seeing real actual design work right now reflect the possibility that AI has shown us. Do you run into that in terms of what people come to you with, or what their taste is, or how does it impact you? And then we can talk about how it impacts your own work maybe, but yeah.
I'm seeing almost primarily AI images start to show up with clients that are using that as the reference. Their homes don't represent anything that has to do with the images.
Yeah.
They have 9-foot ceilings. The AI images has 15-foot ceiling. Nothing makes sense. So it's really just trying to extract what they're trying to accomplish with how the image feels, and pulling out and identifying what specifically they're after with that image, because none of it really translates to their specific architecture, proportion, scale, and all these things that we try to incorporate. So it's really just identifying what about it trying to achieve feeling.
Yeah, and I'll build on that. These AI renderings, they're not real products. And so they come in, these clients come in and they want this, I have to have this light, or I have to have this wallpaper, or I have to have this layout. And you're like, this doesn't exist in real life. And we can customize it, but that's, a really big task. Or there's no way to vent. I know you love this open concept kitchen, but there's no way to vent this. And so there's a lot of conversation that has to go into that to say, this is beautiful, this shows the art of what's possible. We have to now bring it down to reality and how to execute that the best way.
I feel like AI is almost like in the olden days of design and Instagram, the influencer turned designer, because you're like, that's not functional. They didn't think that through. Like, I know you want a wall covering as your backsplash,
right,
but that doesn't work. So it's now AI's replaced the influencer as the person not thinking things through and tricking these potential clients.
It's the new mood board, where we used to have Pinterest or mood boards, things like that. The AI rendering is the new mood board.
Yeah.
But it makes it more difficult for us because we have to convince the client that it cannot be done, and they're seeing it. So they're like, why? Why not? I've seen it all over the place.
And sometimes AI apologizes and goes, yeah, no, I guess you're right. You're like, wait, what? You said, and they're like, I know, I did say that, but it turns out I was wrong.
No, it's actually wild.
Thanks, cool. In what ways is this, where's the upside here? Where has the digital landscape or our AI helpers pushed you to learn something, to try to maybe try to make a backsplash that is wallpaper, which, girl, you can. It's just you don't want to.
I'm not a grass plot.
Where has it kind of nudged you, either from a client perspective or out of curiosity?
Well, we are using AI as tools. We're not using AI to design projects for us, but we're using it as communication tools, visualization tools. We've already designed the space, say in SketchUp, and then we're using it to create a more photorealistic rendering. We're actually using AI to help us in social. We're turning photos into videos to make them more grabbable for the eye. So there's definitely, you have to are we allowed to shit or get off the pot? I just did it. Shit or get off the pot, because otherwise, you're going to get left behind. So you kind of have to know, what tools you can use to enhance and help speed up your work, and also help visualize for your, Instagram account or TikTok account or whatever.
It's definitely a double-edged sword with the AI.
It's a double-edged sword. But but it's also a helper.
Very useful,
it's a helper.
and also very annoying.
And ChatGPT, who we call Chad now, is my best assistant. It's
true.
It's amazing.
Haven't written a real email in weeks.
I do find it does make our design partners really have to think outside of the box and very collaboratively across a lot of adjacencies. You mentioned appliances and these kitchens that don't look like kitchens. You're having to source appliances that are completely fully integrated, and they are able to fit into spaces outside of just the kitchen. And it is really mind-boggling and mind-blowing to think that we are able to do so much more because the AI has created so many more creativity and possibilities for us. And so we're seeing that push designers as well.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's a tool that you can use to come up with new concepts. If you have an existing project that you've done in SketchUp, it can quickly do variations on certain things and come up with things that you just never really would have thought of. So not that you would replicate it, but it can just spur different ideas that lead you to maybe a different solution.
Yeah, I think that push or that nudge is helpful, and then also knowing where to stop. I don't know, getting in the... Yeah, you can become in that world and get kind of addictive and just be there versus saying, wait, I came here to expedite blah. and then I did that, and now I'm going to move on to that next task or whatever. It can be a little bit self-referencing and a spiral, you might say.
You don't want it to hinder your real creativity in the end, and not like you be the one creating the concepts, not this fake, like typing in words and it doing it for you. You know.
I want to ask one more question about specifically sourcing product, which is that there's so much. It's like we say this every year. There's so much more at the fingertips of clients. They have so much more ability to see things and look. Also, to oversee is like, I want this. You're like, I love that. That's not. It doesn't. We don't have that kind of electricity or water or like that kind of tree. I love olive trees, but not here in Vermont. I can't do that for you or whatever it is. Where do you see your role as a designer in terms of like sourcing when you have clients that are becoming more savvy or maybe doing more research about these things?
I mean, we try not to let them get involved. I mean, of course, someone is always going to come and say like, "Oh my God, I really love this light fixture. I really love this," and you can you can incorporate it or not. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, this is again goes back to what we said when we started this panel, was that we're messaging towards the clients that we want to hire, and we specifically tell them, don't go shopping, don't do this. You're just going to waste your money. And so, if they do present us something, they're like, I'm sorry, because like they know we're going to be like, So that's where we stand on it. And again, social has been a great tool to help educate the clients on how we want to work with them. So
what happens, Caroline, when you see designers into the showroom? Like, how are they working maybe with their clients, or what have you seen on your end?
I love it because I think we have such a relationship with our consultants and our designers. So there's a really awesome conversation that typically happens prior. Hey, I'm bringing my clients in. I want to look at this. I want to go through this manufacturer. I'm solving this problem. And so it really becomes a guide to how that designer wants that project to shape out. But I love to hear the stories when the designer really comes in and explains the why we are doing this particular brand, or the why we are picking this light over this. And it's 9 times out of 10, it's because it's the right, not only design aesthetic, but it's also the right form and function for that space. Right. And so, that is one of the benefits of working with a designer. We all know this, but you're not just there to make it look pretty, but it's to really form and function of how that space is utilized.
That's great.
I have to give a shout out to our Ferguson showroom in Seattle, because we have gone to our showroom with our rep, with our clients, shown them stuff, and then they'll show back up after, like by themselves, and the rep will call and be like, your clients are here. I'm like, now I got to address it. So like they do really protect. They do really protect.
We are so protective of our designers. We're like, so-and-so came in, they want to change this, like, please get with them immediately.
I love it.
That's
Thank
incredible.
That's a certain type of client, right? That's not your athlete.
No, this is the one who came from Instagram.
Correct.
That didn't watch our videos.
Yeah. So dealing with that is, you can't avoid it sometimes. You try the best you can to just have them trust you and trust the process. They're going to come with a lot of ideas because of the algorithm. So it's our job to just kind of curate and funnel all of that information and then package it together. But some clients just can't help themselves to go shop around. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I love that. We have a couple minutes to take a few questions. We'll take questions. I probably have one question to wrap, and then we'll wrap it up. And Jason, lovely Jason's coming with the mic. Okay.
I have a question for Pulp Designs. How did you plan out your social media strategy so that you would really create that deep digital footprint? Because I've been watching you guys for years, and I think it's been interesting because it's like watching the evolution of social media and watching you develop through that and sort of take it by storm. So I know you've been in business a while. Like, let's say you've only been in business 5 years. At this point, given people who might not have been in business as long as you, how would you strategize into that deep digital footprint?
Well, I mean, I think the first thing is identifying who you want to work with, first of all, and then what your goals for your business are. Like, do you want a book? Do you want a licensed collection? Do you want to just be working with high-end clients and that's it? So, like, first figuring that out. Like, we knew we wanted to do a book, so we started doing videos and making posts and using the word fearless design in our...
This was years ago, by the way. Like,
and and because of that, we got a book deal, you know? And so, that's part of it. But definitely identifying identifying who your client is and how to talk to them. Then that's a strategy of going through what have my best clients been like? What are my top clients? What did they do for a living? How much do we think they make a year? And trying to
write
to
out
those
who
people
you want your client to
and just
be.
pretend like you're talking to them.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to video, this came about more because she's in Dallas, I'm in Seattle. What ended up happening when we were doing our social content and trying to get us in it as the face of the business, it became very lopsided because I take better photos and videos than she does, and so
True. I shall say I take photos she doesn't like.
Well, they're not good. So anyways, what we decided to do is let's it was almost like our own podcast in a way. We're let's just schedule a video session. We'll develop what content we want. We'll video it all in a day with a professional. And then it's her and I just sitting there. And what it ended up doing is it looks more professional and elevated. And of course it's not, the behind the scenes and this and that as much, but I think it kind of elevates our brand a little bit because it does feel a little more professional. I know the algorithm doesn't like that, but for our business, that's just what we needed to do. But it really, I feel like it really took us to a different
And it
place.
sounds like it works for your workflow.
It did.
Yeah.
I think that's doing anything is kind of the thing. Doing anything is
Totally.
really hard.
Yeah.
So if you can find a thing that works for your schedule that you actually do, it's great.
Yeah, and if there's something you don't like doing or that's not working for you or that just doesn't feel right, people have been trying to get us to do a selfie talking thing, any consultant we've ever talked to or any PR person, they're talk to the thing. I'm we don't do that. We're not doing that because it doesn't feel authentic. It feels cheesy to us, and it doesn't say that that's a lot. Some people do it really well.
They do
we
it
don't
really
like
well,
that.
but I'm not gonna go and be hi guys, I love this style. It's just not our personality. So be who you are, and
be
that
authentic.
shows through your messaging.
Authentic and strategic,
Yeah.
and that's that.
Some guys are very high guys.
Yeah,
and it's
I
great.
love that.
Guess what? It's your
I follow
era.
a lot of high guys.
Congratulations on your era. Please enjoy.
Yeah.
It's true though. I
Yeah,
mean, if it works,
totally.
it'd be
Yeah.
great.
I like watching it. I just
Yeah.
don't like myself
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. Any other question or two before we wrap in a minute? I've got one more quickie, just guilty pleasure. It can be an actual account that you follow or a
so hard to
subsection of the internet or Instagram that you just sort of could brain out on or enjoy.
That we love.
That you love, yeah. Probably a love or love to hate.
I don't know. I have too many.
I really just like to endlessly scroll conspiracy theories on TikTok.
She really does. I had to hear all about it yesterday.
But from a design perspective, you know who I really love from a design perspective, and they're represented at KBIS is Moniomi. Oh my
yeah,
God!
we love them.
They're very of the moment, but it's so inspiring the way they put things together. They're also lovely people.
Yeah.
We know them personally, and I really enjoy their Instagram account.
And it's great. Go check out their little vignette at Kohler. It's insane. It's awesome.
It is. From you guys down there, anything you love?
I too enjoy deep scrolling and in the middle of the night, when we don't sleep. But for me, I love the old English libraries. I love that sort of Ralph Lauren inspired design. But yes, I do recommend seeing the House Party Kitchen in Kohler. It's beautiful. But yeah, that would be my design aesthetic. Not any one particular group.
Yeah, I love Dateline NBC.
Me too.
That puts me right to bed.
Beyond that, anything in Europe, there's some special companies in Europe. I had a chance to go to Germany to see Laufen and, some of the plumbing companies out there. So I try to stay in touch with what's happening overseas.
Yeah, that's nice. Lift your gaze a little bit. That's great. One more quick question. Sure. Hang on one sec. I'm going to get you a microphone.
Hi, can you speak to digital platforms? I know seems like there's new ones all the time. What does it take for you to shift, or is there a younger demographic that embraces different platforms, or are you just sticking with tried and true Instagram and TikTok?
Do you have one in mind?
No, not really.
Moving to streaming or moving from Instagram to TikTok?
Yeah, do you see demographics shifting on those? They keep saying social's dying, but
I don't
it doesn't
think so.
sound
Well,
like
here's what I'll
that's
say.
happening.
When we first started doing Instagram, it was the young person's platform, and we were younger people.
We were younger.
Yeah, we were younger,
people.
and then all of a sudden, all the older people were on Facebook, and then now there's TikTok, but now there's older people on TikTok too. But I think all the platforms have more of a purpose. Like, you have LinkedIn for work stuff, Facebook for more for link sharing, Instagram for storytelling, and we dabbled in TikTok for just like a hot second, but it was just to make fun of our clients and do funny things to make fun of our clients, which was
Anybody find you?
no.
Okay,
But
nobody was
'cause
upset.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, no. Someone did see it because I reposted it to Instagram, and they were like, "I'm sorry, that was me." Like, I was like, "Yeah, it was." But so what? Like we warned you, we told you. So, but I think it's just like what are your goals, and then what platform would help you achieve those goals, because there's someone different on every platform, and there's content being consumed in a different way in each platform. Like the TikToks are the quick 1 second, the Instagram's a storytelling. So it's like that's kind of what I think. You just think strategically about it and not worry about what people are saying about whether it's dying or not.
You know what's fun to do? Build out like a Google business platform, like over service something under service, like LinkedIn or Google. I tell my clients to do this all the time, or I do it for them. I'm like, this is just sitting here with like a 1 3-star review or a 1 review, and it's local. It always comes up in search because it's Google. Like, go find like a fun thing that's not social, but like a footprint out there, and just do it up. And it's fun. Like, it's weird. People find people in weird, funny ways. So. Okay, friends. Well, we've got in about 45 minutes. I'm right to think 3:30 is the next panel, right, Jason? Great. I have a cool designer named Kathy Purple Cherry, a designer and architect who runs a really banging business. It's going to be a really fun conversation. It's right back here. And yeah, more tomorrow. And thank you to my esteemed panelists and to Ferguson Home. So thank you, Caroline, for your company hosting this.
We love
and thank you for your
Ferguson.
great questions and your big smiles. And we'll probably mill about if you guys have quieter questions for our team. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
guys.
Thanks, Sophie.